As crime continues to surge across California, Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass are diverting law enforcement officers to protect Kamala Harris, leaving you on hold during 911 calls. Coming up, we have the latest scandal of the elites getting protection while you get stuck with the crime. Plus, did Governor Gavin Newsom just walk off the job in order to focus on his presidential campaign? Even the liberal media is starting to ask the tough questions. All that and more coming up. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state representative. I've got two stories for you today that reflect the arrogance of the political elite in California. And the holier than thou, do as I say, not as I do, that they get special considerations because they're elected officials, or in the case of Kamala Harris, a failed former vice president. Let's start with her. We know in California we have a shortage of police officers in every department, virtually, in every community. And we still have a big problem with crime. Governor Gavin Newsom refuses to fund the Prop 36 initiative that California voters passed in 2024, the Make Crime Illegal Again initiative that passed with 68.7% of the vote. He basically said, fine, voters said they wanted to crack down on crime, but I'm not going to put the money into police officers and prosecutors. I'm not going to give them the programs to actually implement Prop 36. Overturning the will of the voters, continuing to keep us at the mercy of these criminals. And of course, we do know that instead of funding recruitment and retention of police officers, California's politicians are making it harder and harder for officers to do their job. We have the highest number of vacancies we've ever seen. The response times are dreadfully long in each of these communities. But there doesn't seem to be any appetite by people like Karen Bass in Los Angeles, city council members in Los Angeles, or any other city for that matter, and including our state legislature, for dealing with the understaffed police departments of the state of California. But instead, what they're doing is they're adding paperwork burdens to make their jobs harder. So into this comes these reports. Exclusive sources tell Fox LA as many as 14 LAPD elite Metro officers are now assigned to protect former Vice President Kamala Harris 24/7 after President Trump revoked her Secret Service detail. Now, let me tell you that Trump found out that Joe Biden gifted a security detail to Kamala Harris beyond what is allowed in federal statute. It has been the custom for the last 35 years that when a vice president leaves office, they are provided with Secret Service protection for 6 months after they leave. Joe Biden got that in 2017. You saw Dick Cheney get it in 2009. All vice presidents. Al Gore got it in 2001. You get 6 months of Secret Service protection. If you're a president, you get lifetime Secret Service protection. So Kamala Harris got an executive order signed, allegedly by the auto pen, giving her extended Secret Service protection. So she gets to travel with an entourage. And she was about to go on a book tour with her entourage, funded by taxpayers. LA Mayor Karen Bass says, quote, "This is another act of revenge. This puts the former vice president in danger. I look forward to working with the governor to make sure Vice President Harris is safe and sound in Los Angeles." Safe and sound in Los Angeles? Bitch, please. You have a crime-ridden city. Oh, but the crime only impacts regular folk. Politicians have security details. Kamala Harris has a team of 14 LAPD. Oh, and in about a moment, I'm going to share with you, that's not it. That's not all. She gets additional protection courtesy of Gavin Newsom, as is referenced by Karen Bass's statement. So Fox LA and other journalists have recorded unmarked LAPD cars outside Harris's home, and they're being pulled off of crime suppression efforts. Now, this comes at a time when Newsom has already announced he's going to be using California Highway Patrol to also protect Kamala Harris. I mean, yeah, I understand, if I lived in LA, I'd be pretty worried about my safety, like anyone, not just the former vice president, but only she gets special attention. Comes at a time when response times and officer shortage are severe in Los Angeles. From an interview with KNX, quote, "There's an impact on our ability to prevent crimes from happening. There's less time to do community engagement, less time to build resiliency in communities and establish those relationships. So ultimately, if that diminishes, I can promise you, crime will go up." It's from an LA police department senior manager. But we have 15, maybe more, LAPD officers assigned not to patrol the streets, not to deal with 911 response times, but to cater to every whim of Kamala Harris. Just a few months ago, LA in a Minute host, concerned with police response times following home break-in. So the liberal media has some friends that are now have been complaining about response times. The host and media personality behind LA in a Minute says he was placed on hold for 59 minutes during an active home break-in. You're on hold for 59 minutes because the system is so overwhelmed. But let's divert attention to Kamala Harris. Again, the political elites of California don't give a rat's rear end about you and your safety. They're only going to protect themselves. They're against the Second Amendment for average citizens. The Second Amendment. But they walk around with armed details. Kind of interesting. Speaking of walking around, I think we have increasing evidence that Gavin Newsom has literally walked off the job. And even the liberal media has started to question him. Spencer Pratt, who's doing great work in the fire-ravaged areas of Pacific Palisades, he's been tweeting and posting on social media all sorts of criticism about how inept Gavin Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass have been at responding to the fires. The mainstream media has basically moved on. But last week, he let the secret out that Newsom was apparently in Italy enjoying a vacation. Now, I don't mind if an elected official goes and takes some time off if they're actually doing their real job for you, the taxpayer, and doing a good job. But we know that he's not doing his job, as I'll share in a moment, and he's not doing a good job, and that's evidenced by all the problems that this state has. But Spencer Pratt says, "I want to be in Italy like Gavin Newsom this week. Oh, wait, Newsom let my town burn down with all of my wealth and possessions, so I can't go to Italy. Newsom, you didn't learn from Karen Bass going to Africa?" That's when, she was warned that there were going to be Santa Ana winds and a high fire danger. She jumps on a plane and goes to a safari in Africa. Quote, "You're supposed to be running California, not eating pasta and drinking wine with globalists in Italy." By the way, Newsom once said that he cheated on his wife with his best friend's wife because of alcohol, and that he was going to go sober. Later, he was caught drinking $1,000 per bottle of wine at the French Laundry as he shut down all the other restaurants throughout the state of California with lobbyists. That's right. The high, rich, and famous life of these politicians. Cal Matters, a liberal blog, has also made point that they don't know what the hell Gavin Newsom's doing day in and day out. Quote, "How focused is Gavin Newsom on his job? His official schedule remains a mystery." Cal Matters, again, which is a liberal-leaning blog, has been demanding that the governor's office hand over schedules, his daily schedule, not his schedule into the future because politicians say, I can't give you my schedule in the future because it could be a risk of people trying to, do something bad to me. They'll know where I am, my schedule. No, they're asking for schedules 5, 6, 7, 8 months ago. Because they're curious, like, how much time does he spend at the office? How much time does, who is he meeting with? Who's bending his ear? Who's currying favor with him? This is all about transparency. This is a government schedule. Therefore, it's under the statute, the California Public Records Act, which means that the governor's office shall provide it within a matter of days upon request. But they haven't done that. My good friend Bill Asaley, who's now the U.S. attorney for most of California, said, quote, if he wants to prove to the United States that he would be a good president, why doesn't he start by leading and actually running the state of California? Good question. So Cal Matters has asked for the calendars for the first 8 months of this year and been given the runaround. The governor's office says, quote, Governor Newsom has been among the most transparent governors in the history of California. BS. We'll continue to share his calendar, as always, with transparency, diligence, and accuracy it deserves. They say that they need to make sure the calendars are accurate. It already happened. It's not like you have to spend a whole lot of time putting together a calendar. Print. Redact with the black pen if you must. But you shouldn't be redacting government meetings. I look forward to reading your web post about the hardships. He's mocking Cal Matters. The hardships you've encountered while waiting. You know what the hardship is? You are violating the law, Gavin Newsom. You asshat. Don't sit here and, take an attitude and mock Cal Matters. I'll mock Cal Matters for their liberal bias. But no. In this case, they have absolutely every right to demand records under the California Public Records Act to find out how much time is the governor actually working in the office? How much time is he meeting with political consultants on his presidential campaign? How much time is he working on raising money with donors versus doing the job he's supposed to be doing? Because guess what? There are numerous documented failures in this administration. Nobody is managing the state government. It is absolutely incompetent. Major managerial failures across the board. But we don't know what the hell our governor's doing. We do know that we're paying his staff, his own salary, his security detail, while he's off running for political office, which is a misappropriation of funds. Look, at Reform California, we're shining a light on Newsom's failures. We're shining a light on the fact that police officers are now being diverted to protect the elite politicians while you get stuck with crime-infested neighborhoods and no police to respond to your urgent 911 calls. Help us spread the word. Help us also hold these politicians accountable. We are recruiting and training and endorsing candidates up and down the state of California for state assembly, state senate, all the way down to school board. We need your help in this growing movement to restore sanity to our state. And yes, we can take back California. We just need everyone off the couch and into the fight. Go to our website, reformcalifornia.org, reformcalifornia.org. That is ground zero for our campaigns. Chip in a contribution. Share the stories that are up there. And please, if you're not already signed up, at the bottom of that website, sign up with your first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code, and you'll be tethered into our growing movement to take back California. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.